multiple cameras.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2,
All right.
3.
Work for common good.
Ready?
Yeah.
One.
Still work in Santa Monica. Still work over there as an accountant. I work 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. You know, campaigning every second. My car is always full.
How long is your district?
It's like 14 square miles.
14
but
square.
Traffic everywhere.
Exactly. What do you think? How many people live in that 14 square miles?
We have over 750,000. This is our tribal cafe. This is our old headquarters.
Your parking's still here. So this is the district you're running in.
This is the district. So
What do you see when you're just driving through here?
What you see is it's crazy. You have old neighborhood, old LA here, new LA here. $3,000 one-bedroom apartments. Here you have your rent control units. So these ones on the right, these go for $3,000 for one bedroom. And then you sort of see how different it is. Old school neighborhoods. We're in historic Filipino town right now. So we actually have a lot of Filipino people who live here, who are barely making it. Luckily, some of them own their homes, but you'll see some houses here get bought out and replaced with new apartments. And that's sort of what you'll see. It's a very cultural, ethnic, diverse community. You got the Latinx folks, the Filipinx people here. And working class neighborhood, the average median income is around $30,000 here in Westlake. So it's fairly a poor neighborhood, but people are able to get by because their cost is cheap. But as more and more new development comes, it's going to get a lot more expensive, and hopefully it doesn't raise people's rent. So yeah, this is our district. Beautiful district, very diverse.
When you go through here, what was it about, I guess, just seeing this stuff every day that made you want to run forward? This is your third time now?
Yeah, third time running. I just, you know, I ran in 2016, and I ran as a write-in. And it was always a promise I made to myself and to friends and supporters that I was going to run in the next original election, which was 2018. But you know, 2017 happened last year where our congressman vacated his seat, so I ran in that election. And so this is my run, might be my final, because 3 years in a row running is pretty tough. But people here need help. One out of every 5 people don't have health insurance here. Only 60% have a high school degree. Just a little over 20% have a college degree. There's over 53,000 people homeless in LA County, and it's a large immigrant population, so we need humane immigration reform, especially with what's happening right now. So when you look at those stats, it's hurting. People are hurting, and we're in LA. We're supposed to be like in the best city ever, the best country ever, and we're really not. We're really not in the best country. So that's sort of why I'm running again in Congress.
Nice, and I love the simplicity of your campaign. It seems like really people-powered.
It is.
I mean, you're driving to pick up your own canopy right now. In your car. It's not a luxury car. It's like you've been living out of your car.
Exactly. Like people think like, oh, don't you have a driver driving? Like, oh, shouldn't you? I'm like, no, I'm driving. I'm eating at the same time. I'm doing it all because people power is really the best power ever. And if you want a representative that truly cares for the people, then you should be looking at people like us who are running for office, who really do care, who are putting in the hard work, driving themselves, raising money from people, not corporations. And that's really the best representation of a true U.S. representative, and that's why we're running for that position.
Yeah, how's the fundraising been?
It's been good. We from 2017 to 2018, we raised over $130,000. That's a lot of money considering like we're a small grassroots campaign. Over like many donations. Average donation is around $38, and it's very it's humbling because that's a lot of money. You know, our opponent has raised over 1.4 million, which is a lot more than we have. But for us to raise that amount, we're very proud of it. And it's like over 4,000 individual donations too, so it's awesome.
Nice. I mean, just how's the party been? I mean, you just mentioned this might be the last one, but don't you feel you've kind of helped? Not too many Green candidates have gone this far as you have. I mean, win or lose, don't you feel this is kind of just the beginning for you and your party?
Oh yeah, this is the beginning, and even though if I'm not running, we're actually preparing and planning for the next person to run in this district. So the Greens will always have a foothold. Kenneth Mejia will always have a name here because I'm going to be helping that person run and helping with managing it. So no matter what, it's not about me, Kenneth Mejia. It's about progressive values that people are longing for, and people are sick and tired of the status quo, politicians taking money from corporations who aren't fighting for things like guaranteed health care, things like education. And it's crazy because in other countries like in Europe and Asia, they provide health care, they provide education, and they also help with housing here. Here, the new housing is all luxury and no one can afford it. So that's why we're hoping to have future candidates push on these same values that we're doing, because it's really resonating. And you know, in this district, people are hurting a lot. So.
I mean, I'm actually surprised that right now this street is usually filled with people. I mean, it's not the best neighborhood. Just how do you feel just seeing I think they got the Day Labor Center just around the corner.
At the Home Depot right here.
Yeah,
Day Labor
yeah. You go
there.
out to the Home Depot. Just. I mean, what do you feel when you see these people? Have you actually talked to them on the campaign trail?
Oh yeah, we talk to everybody. People ranging from unemployed to undocumented people to LGBTQIA, you know, to the working class here on the streets. We talk to them all the time, and they are looking for hope. And many of them are struggling, working many jobs, many who are unemployed, many who are trying to seek citizenship, and it's tough in America, and it doesn't have to be that way. I think, you know, being Filipino, we sort of tell ourselves like, oh well, we got to work really hard, and you know, your mom worked 80 hours a week or to provide for you, or you got to do that too. And that's admirable and that's great, but you know, we should stop and question ourselves like, wait, does that sound normal? Should we have to work 60 hours, 80 hours a week so we can provide for our kids? Should we set up GoFundMes to raise our child's healthcare bills? You know, like, does that make sense? And those are the questions we're asking, because a lot of American conservative values, they feel pride in that they had to work 100 hours a week or 80 hours to get to where they are, and that's great and all. Like, my mom did that, you know, we did that too under a single mom, but it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way where you have to work 80 hours making $10 an hour trying to provide for your family, or you getting a 20% rent increase and then you have to leave your home. It shouldn't be that way, and that's sort of that's the dialogue we're bringing, is that it shouldn't be that way.
Thanks. I mean, just over, how has the campaign? You seem to be out every weekend at least, and I guess every day as well. And just how's the work been? How's the grind been like?
It's been good. I mean, we never thought we'd make it this far, but here we are. Like, usually we don't make it past the primary in June, but now we're here in November. And we've been constantly working every day. Like, I work full time still. Our team still works. We have students who are high school, who are college. So the work grind is basically do your regular everyday life, your job, your school, and after campaign, put 2 hours, 3 hours, do whatever you can. And it's just been like that for the past 3 years.
That's true. I mean, because it's not just the June and November thing. It's the fact you've done it 3 times in a row.
Yeah, 2016, 2017, 2018, and I'm like, damn. But you know, the work never stops, and I love it. It's like being an activist is my rent for a living. So, you know, because if you don't be active, then the government's just gonna screw you over like they are now, you know. So.
I want to meet you. I mean, CNN, they called you out. They put you on that list. What was the list
CNN,
called? Like
future politicians, the face of future of America. And we were on there on the front page on CNN, and they featured us, so that was awesome. You know, they can't ignore us. So, yeah, this is our little HQ over here.
Good deal.
Very good deal. This is our little headquarters.
I love it. It's cool.
Very grassroots. It's actually funny because when we rented it out, it was already green, the paint, and we're like, oh, we just happen to be green.